So from an education perspective, what should your children be doing during this unprecedented state that the world is in right now? As a middle school math teacher, that's a question that I get a lot from my students' parents. And in this video, I'm going to be sharing some suggestions and recommendations to make sure that your child is still learning in as effective a manner as possible during these uncertain times. And at the end of the video, I'm also going to be sharing some details about the recently announced free math tutoring and free piano lessons initiative that KMATS is offering that I was really excited to share with everyone. So definitely stay tuned to the end of the video for some more details on that. Coming up. Wait, I don't have an intro video yet. Ugh. Okay, all good. Let's go. What's up guys, Kevin Allen here. Welcome to episode 13 of K-Al Experience, your #1 destination for all things music, personal development, and education. Really excited to be here today to be sharing some best practices with you guys that hopefully will just make this experience for your children who I'm sure are struggling in different ways, kind of adjusting to this, just make the experience just a little bit smoother and a little bit better for them. So let's get right to it. So the first thing that I wanted to recommend is just to make sure that your child is getting some form of exercise every day. I think this might be something that a lot of us may already know, possibly, but I just want to reiterate the importance of this. While we're at school and while we're at work, we're on the move. We're on the move a lot. And right now, with us being confined to the home, it's very important to be really intentional about making sure that you are moving, several hours a day. Right? I think just for our mental health as well as for our physical health, it's just extremely important to get outside and go for a walk or go for a jog. My school that I work at, they kind of pride themselves on making sure that throughout the day, in addition to the studies, in addition to the education that we provide for the students, it's also very important for them to have access to be able to go outside during breaks and during recess to kind of just run around and let off some steam and things like that. When students are used to being able to do that and then that's taken away from them, that's a very impactful thing in their lives, and sometimes students just aren't sure how to kind of deal with that or even how to communicate what's going on with them. But exercise is a very important piece of the puzzle. Okay, so the next one here might vary from student to student, but overall the important thing here is to know that the students are physically in their house all day, and for the first half of the day pretty much they're sitting through Zoom meetings or Zoom classroom sessions and things for all their classes, and then the second half of the day typically is the time for them to work on homework. And so the important thing here is to have a sort of fixed schedule to say, okay, during these times, these are the times where I'm in class, and then which is, specific to whatever the school kind of designates for their schedule. But for the second half of the day, when they're not in their synchronous or live classes, the second part of the day is for them to do their homework. I would really suggest that they have specific hours during that, say, 4 o'clock to 9 o'clock time frame that they are doing schoolwork, and not the entire time. I think it's very easy for students to kind of finish school and then know that they have work to do and kind of be halfway in and halfway out, and maybe they're doing a little bit of work, but maybe they're also watching TV, or they're kind of just not really focused in on what needs to get done. The reason that this is important is because right after school's over, maybe a little break for them to kind of decompress a little bit, and then maybe depending on their school and how many hours are expected of them, but maybe they're spending an hour and a half to 2 hours that evening working on schoolwork or working on homework, and then after that they're doing something else. This is my recommendation. I just kind of feel really strongly about having them work on so much stuff during the day and then be expected to kind of be working for several hours afterwards. It can be very demanding, and it can compound the already sort of mental stress that the students, I'm sure, are having with everything else that's going on. Okay, and the next one is to, now more than ever, to ask questions to your teachers. We don't expect you guys to all get this immediately, and by this I mean the structure to class and the flow of class and everything like this. We're all kind of learning this together, and it's perfectly okay and even expected and preferred for you guys to ask questions so that you understand what the expectation is, and that we are communicating it effectively, right? Without those questions, maybe sometimes we might not realize as teachers whether we did a good job communicating something to you. So this one is just to, ask questions to make sure that you have that clarity so that you can kind of get comfortable with the new norm that we are in. And then the last one that I wanted to talk about a little bit is be okay with setbacks. Because we're all adjusting to this, there's going to be some setbacks. We're all dealing with different things in our lives, and the expectation is not for every student that we're working with to make sure that they are, at their tip top of their game. There's a lot of mental things going on here, and as teachers have to make sure that we fully understand that, and as students, we want you guys to know that we are aware of it, right? We want you to know that we're aware. So it's okay. It's okay if there are setbacks. It's okay to kind of not be comfortable. It's okay to not be comfortable in this position that we're all in right now, because it is very uncomfortable. But we're in it together, and the goal as teachers, the goal is just to make sure that we're doing our best to kind of provide some sense of stability to our students during this time. And that kind of goes right into the last bit that I wanted to talk to you guys a little bit about today. So my organization, Kevin's Mentor and Tutor Services, KMATS, is now offering free math tutoring and free piano lessons until June 30th for any student grades 3 through 12. And I'm just really, really excited about the opportunity to be able to do something like this. I've been seeing a lot of companies and a lot of individuals just really, really stepping up to the plate. And for me personally, I've been kind of thinking about what I wanted to do, and I didn't want to just jump right in. I had to kind of think about it. I wanted to make sure that things in the house were fine. My wife was fine. I was fine with work and everything like that. My family was fine. And now that we're in a position where I could kind of give back, I'm just excited for the opportunity to do so. My hope is that, for the people, the healthcare workers who I addressed a couple of episodes ago, for the healthcare workers out there and the people, the essential personnel, they have children out there. They have children, and my hope is for anyone with a child, but especially those individuals to hear this message and see this message and know that there's an opportunity now for virtual tutoring for your child and virtual piano lessons. My thought behind this is some way for me to be able to give back, which, okay, we're good with that. But the other piece is not just tutoring. And what do I mean by just tutoring? I mean that if students are sitting in front of their laptop or in front of their computer at home, getting instructional material from their teachers at their school, and then in the second half of the day, like I mentioned earlier, they're doing their homework assignment, I don't think that having an hour or having a half hour of tutoring would be necessarily the most effective thing for very many students. The reason I say that is because it might be too much. So my thought behind this is sort of threefold, right? One of them is still some semblance of teaching them during these sessions. Definitely an opportunity for them to ask questions and get extra help on their homework assignments. And then also some place for them to look forward to joining, right? We know that all students aren't going to look forward to going to class virtually or in person. What if there's some way for us to make this something that they enjoy? And that's something that I really, really prided myself in when I was able to do in-person lessons one-on-one, is just to make it so that the students are excited about the idea of learning. They don't even necessarily realize it, but they're excited to they're excited to do math when, historically, that's an unheard of type of a thing there, right? So that's what I wanted to share with you guys. I'm just really, really excited for the opportunity to do this. And I'm going to put the slide up again here so you guys can take a look and register. The website is www.kevintutoring.com/free. That'll bring you right to the place where you need to go to register. And I want this to reach everyone that can possibly benefit from it. And I think it's just going to be a real awesome thing. So thanks again. And I'll see you guys next week, all right? You guys have a wonderful rest of the day or evening, and I'm out of here. Later.